Assalamu alaikum, namaste and sat sri akal. You are listening to Awaz Community Radio. Your host for today is Saira, and today in the studio we have Parviz Khalidi, an artist. So, if you would like to get in touch with us, our website is www.awazcommunityradio.com. You can email us awazradio@hotmail.com. If you would like to ring us, our number is 0161 839 7857. We're also on Facebook, just type in Awaz Community Radio, or we're on Twitter, Awaz Radio 122. Thank you for listening to Awaz Community Radio with your host Saira. Now in the studio today we have Parviz Khalidi. He's a Kurdish artist from Iran. Welcome to Awaz Community Radio, Parviz.
Thank you very much for your inviting me, and hope we could say something about our art in the past and in the UK.
Well, we're really looking forward to hearing all about your opinions and your life. So, Parviz, can you tell us a little bit, what would you say is art in your opinion?
Art can be so many different things, but in my opinion, that kind of art is good. Always show the things to people when normal people don't understand or don't know about it. The subject is very important for artists to choose and do the art academically, and then to throw the border for nation to other nation, person to other person, place to other places. But I believe in the beginning of humanity, art was something very good, and then could change something in our history and now and in the future. But unfortunately, always artists are struggling with their own life, and then with the poorest time of their life, and then struggling with their psychologically mentality problem. When they die, then after their art is go high and higher to sell and then make a business. But I am not happy with that. The artists will die by the suffering, by the hunger. Then businessmen make money by their art. The art should be support the people for people. That's all I wanted.
Right, that's a really interesting opinion there. And can I ask, you're an artist, so I think I have to ask this question. Who are your favourite artists? Who inspires you?
There is so many artists, really. I like their job in the past and now. But I'm happy just talk about a few artists when I like their job, and then I learn so many things from them. The first artist is when I learned from him, I interested his job. His name was Shishkin from Russia, and then the second artist, Van Gogh, because Van Gogh is done expressionist, and then Shishkin done naturalist. And then after that, there is two artists in Iran. One of them calling Rahim Nawasi. He do a very good job as well. And then Hadi Ziaddini in Kurdistan, Iran. I can say these four artists, the main artists, when I learned from them, and then they are my favorite artist and artwork.
Thank you for that, Parviz. You are listening to Awaz Community Radio, and we have Parviz Khalidi, a Kurdish artist from Iran, talking about art. So, Parviz, can you tell us how your life as an artist began?
Well, when I was little boy, I used to live in a little village in a border high mountain between Iran and Iraq. My village as a landscape weather and subject for art really was very interested for me. Always I painting all our home wall, and was, I can say, beginning for my drawing when I was about 4 years old. This was very good. Now I can say thanks for mom. She didn't bother when I paint every week all the wall. She cleaned it up again, and then I painted, and then she cleaned it up again. So, and then after that, war start between Iran and Iraq, Iran and Kurdish opposition. So my life completely changed. My life changed, subject changed. I just painting about war, about the soldiers and Kurdish fighters. So this is beginning of more interesting for me to share my painting with the revolution, with the opposition of Iranian regime that time. And then we flee to the mountain. We left our villages. We live in the mountain about maybe 10 years. This time was complete my painting always without teacher, in the mountain with my family, with the cold, with the war. So always I painting. I chose the good subjects. Friend, family support me emotionally, psychologically, and then about everything. So I learn art in the mountain without anything. This is my beginning of my life on art.
It's fascinating to hear how your life as an artist began. So do you feel living in the mountains and with the backdrop of the politics that was going on then, that influenced you? Do you feel it influenced what you painted?
Really, I believe the art is created in the heart with love. Art, the beginning of art should start in the heart with love. Then after, by your mind, choose the subject, which kind of subject is match with your heart. I can say, yes, of course, that situation built me up as an artist. I believe the situation always make an artist, even political, even war and different life, different style of life. But I think when people seriously get a kind of feel about something, this can be a little starting for creation art. As an artist, I am talking. But if I have a chance in the future, could go to university and then complete academically my art, that will be perfect for me.
So what subjects do you like to paint? What would you say are your favorite subjects?
The subject is very important. Really, I can say how much the technique and how much the technique is important to draw and to paint, that much subject is important too. Because always the subject will have something to say to people. For example, when I see a poor man sleep on the road, this subject, when I painted, It is different with that subject when I painting landscape, because the landscape is give people just nice and happiness, but the poor man, when I painted, when he sleep on the road by the call, will give people, they need to ask themselves why this person sleep in the road, so they have to be active about to do something. So I prefer artist before do his job. It is good to learn to choose the subject, because the subject got something to say. This is very important. It bring the picture, bring the art alive, always talk to the people. That's why I am happy always my picture talking to people and people understand them, and I am happy to tell people something through to my art. That's why I chose the subject, like to say something.
You are listening to Awaz Community Radio with your host Saira and local Kurdish artist from Iran, Parviz Khalidi. So we'd like to ask about your art in Iran. Would you like to talk a little bit more about it?
Good. In 1988, when we have to back to Iran from the mountain with my family, because of war, Iran and Iraq, and gas attack in Halabja, we were that area. So this will start beginning to do some art about that situation. Because when I saw the people, when they get gas attack, chemical gas attack in Halabja, also I get gas attack, it more give me a kind of energy and full responsibility to do something. In Iran, we were not allowed to do anything if we want. We were allowed only to do the kind of art when Iranian regime happy with it. So it was very difficult for me to choose the subject. We were not allowed to paint a kind of subject when like a political subject and about different nation, which will not support the regime. We were not allowed to do it. So I chose the Halabja as a subject because Halabja was Iraq. It wasn't Iran. But I can say the subject subjects were same our subject as a Kurdish in Iran and as a Kurdish in Iraq. So I painted about Halabja. I opened an exhibition, but by the name of Halabja. So sometime I choose different clothes, different people when a little bit different in Iran and Iraq. It make big question to me and regime make pressure for me. So after 3-time exhibition, my artwork was closed down. But in this time, I can say I was very happy because I done a kind of job when other people in university were not able to do that kind of thing, because even I was not been in university. Fortunately, student, teachers, or different style of people were happy with my exhibition. But unfortunately, the regime closed down my exhibition, and then they told me I'm not allowed to paint this kind of artwork anymore. Any art, when I paint it, they first check, then after I'm allowed to show. So this is the beginning for my broken heart about my artwork.
It sounds quite difficult, Parviz, that you had censorship in art. So what kind of subjects were easier for you to paint in Iran, and what did you want to paint in Iran?
In the beginning, when I talk, there is difficult in Iran to everybody choose which kind of subject to paint. It must be careful, otherwise it's get a problem with the regime. That time I chose the subject when civilian people like women, children, they killed by gas attack and or suffering by bleeding their body wounding, or walking on the jungle, on the mountain, and also painting villages when they were destroyed, or painting the trees when they burned, and painting any kind which was I saw in that time. Then I chose as my subject. That's why the regime was responsible for these kind of things when happened to us. That's why Iran regime were not happy with my subject.
Is it because you were capturing a lot of suffering and hardship?
Yes.
And they didn't like that at all?
Exactly.
But were you keen for people not to forget that this was going on?
Exactly.
So coming to the UK, was it 7 years ago, you said?
Yes.
How would you say your art has changed since you arrived here?
When a person, he's feeling his life, his communication, his place change, I think everything possible to change in his art too. I can say that kind of pain when I had in Iran and this kind of pain when I have in UK is completely different. In Iran, I more feel unsafe, may arrest, may hang, may killed like my brothers. But in the UK, I don't feel like that. But in Iran, most time I was happy and then share my happiness with friend, family, and then I had something to show, to say. But in the UK, the life is different. Many times I feel I'm alone. So these kind of things will change the subject for me. So at the moment, I can say I am still continuing to show that life when I had in the past and this life in the UK. I'm happy to paint more about Halabja when when I am in the UK, because Halabja was, it is big question for all the world why they were quiet that time with the Iraqi regime when killed 5,000 people just 1 week. So why they were quiet? This is my subject. In the future I'm going to show it in the UK. But my art about the UK, I'm more happy to painting about the lonely people, when people are suffering by lonely and psychologically, and like jobless people, and communication, and then businesses, anything when I can see around my town in Manchester. So I'm happy to do that. But I can say all these things, I feel responsible about it.
You are listening to Awaz Community Radio with your host Saira, and we have Parviz Khalidi, a Kurdish artist from Iran, in the studio talking about art. It's great having you in the studio, Parviz. We're really enjoying listening to you talk about art. So, can you tell us, what are you planning to do in the future? What are you doing at the moment?
Right. Really, at the moment, I got a few plans for my future from now. It gives me energy to be more active. The first, I'm happy to manage my life myself for my living, and then to be independent, and then to could pay for my college when I am paying now to learn English, ESOL classes, and get them study in college, and then go to university to complete my art academically. And also in the future I'm happy to teach art and to do exhibition and traveling around the world if it's possible about my art. And also I got some artwork at the moment. I'm going to make more and then open an exhibition in the future as soon possible. But unfortunately it is very difficult for me to do it normally how I do in Iran, because the living in the UK for me at the moment is very difficult, because it's so complicated about rent house, paying bill, find a job, and then pay for college. Anyway, I'm carry on with it, and then I got hope, and then I am active, and I'm happy to continue and do exhibition and study and teach and traveling in the future.
Those sound like really good plans. They really do.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Yes.
and how are you achieving your goals? I guess you're achieving your goals by you doing what you're doing, really. You're learning, you're studying, and you're trying to get to where you want to get to by taking those steps.
I think each person got a kind of energy to do all the job when he wanted or when she wanted. Maybe it not happen, but in the moment, I think each person can have that energy to do it. At the moment, I got the energy because I love my art. I want to do it. I do painting, decorating. I do hard work just to make or save money to pay for my college and to buy stuff for my art, and then to help myself to arrive that when I want. Because I am, as a person, I am not happy to be depend with someone or something else. I am happy to be independent. So this love, this energy, when I have, it can help me always. I am happy to increase my energy. But unfortunately, sometimes it is difficult, because when person get depressed, well, energy reduce, and very difficult to carry on his job and to get his goal. But I'm reading books and researching how I more motivate and cope with the situation when I am alone in here, not my family not with me, or I can't go to see them, I can't do traveling by some reason. But anyway, I got hope, and then I never give up. This is very important for me. I have to feel responsible about something to do.
So Parviz, would you like to leave some contact details if anyone wants to get in touch with you?
At the moment, really, I only build up a website by the name Art Zagros. Will be ARTZAGROS, artzagros.com. This website that will help people can show some of my work. People can see some of my work. Also, if they want, may they contact it, and if they send me something to learn, I'm happy to learn from people what they think about, and then could help to make more better my artwork. That will be, I will be appreciate about that. That's all.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, just in case people weren't able to write that down, they can get in touch with us as well, and we'd be happy to forward your details on to them, Parviz. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
That'd be great. So I'll just leave our details again for ourselves. It's awazcommunityradio.com. That's our website. Our email address is awazradio@hotmail.com. We're on Facebook. Just type in Awaz Community Radio. You can tweet us, awazradio122, or give us a call, 0161 839 9857. So I would just like to say a big thank you to Parviz Khalidi, Kurdish artist from Iran, who has come in, given us his time and shared his thoughts and opinions with us on the subject of art. So thank you very much, Parviz.
Thank you very much for you too, and thank you for people when they could help artists to create more art, people for people. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I think it's very important that, we hear about local artists, and you're right, it is by people, for the people. And I hope you've enjoyed being here. We've really enjoyed having you here.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Thanks.
for you doing too. Thanks a lot.
So listeners, you've been listening to Awaz Community Radio with your host, Saira. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.